Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Anatomy of the Arts. And this week's guest is very special. He's a very talented musician. On his first album, he got 68 million streams. And honestly, I'm very pleased to have him here with us today. It's Mr. Scott Hermo. How are you today?
Oh, dude, I'm great. Thanks for having me. This is really
No,
nice.
thank
Thanks for
you.
saying that. Those were nice words.
Trying to soften you up a bit. I'm trying to just, make you blush. um, okay, so I can we just start with how Boyscott formed?
Yeah, totally. So I went to school in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm from the East Coast in the States, but I went to school in Tennessee. And yeah, I don't know. I've just always worked on songs for fun. And
Mm,
then I met some friends down there, technically in Memphis, that gave me confidence to like, oh, you should, all these ideas you came up with, you should just turn them into a thing. Like, just record
yeah,
them, take it
yeah.
not seriously, but just like have fun with it and just commit to making it a thing. And yeah, so basically I recorded this album with my friends, and then after the album was released, people were like, oh, like people would reach out to us to play shows, and then we were like, oh, we should start a band. It should be a band. It should be a band. Uh,
Was it a long process to get the right people in? Or did you kind of like gel instantly?
No, yeah, it worked really, really easily, really
Mm,
well. Because the people that had helped me with the record were down.
yeah.
So, I mean, granted, not everyone was always available, and we always wanted to say yes to every show. So it was really just like there was always a rotating cast of people who just like were either around or not around, and like just friends that we had.
Mm,
And like it's been like almost like 7 or 8 years now, and we've played with like
yeah.
over like 25 people, almost like
Oh
30
wow.
people probably. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
do you think that like school kind of took you away from the music, or do you feel like it helped you express yourself more?
Oh, that's a good question. No, I think it was good. I think it was a constructive atmosphere to be in.
Yeah.
And granted, like a lot of us were actually studying film at the time.
Oh really?
Um, and I think studying that stuff made us realize more and more that how into music we were and how much we
Yeah.
wanted to focus on that anyway. But it was all relative and all productive stuff to be doing
Mm.
and fun,
So you
and
so you were
creative.
studying film?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Alright,
yeah.
so what's your favorite film then?
Oh, dude. Oh, that's a
Do you
really
have
tough
Letterboxd?
question. I just got Letterboxd again. I had it and then I got a new phone and I forgot to re-download it. Um,
Ah, it's
but I
such a
don't.
good app.
Oh, dude, yeah, yeah. No, we should talk about that. We'll share. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What about you? Are you a film person? It
I
seems.
love films.
Oh, dude, hell yeah.
Okay, that's good then. Films are great. Um, do you feel like watching like films then helped you helped you creatively because you could see how other people could kind of like get out of their element and then do their own thing without, not worrying about what other people would think?
Yeah, no, totally. I think there's so many aspects of movies and visual stuff that was inspiring to music and so on,
Mm,
and also just music and movies too. But yeah, no, dude, super inspiring. Um, and yeah, it's just about like creating a world, really.
yeah.
And yeah, it felt really fun to make music and then think of visuals with that and stuff like that. But yeah, yeah, dude, we like are obsessed with movie. We talk about movies in the car constantly, TV shows, like everything. It's
Yeah.
so fun. Yeah.
Were you so I just want to take it back. You said you were writing songs. Were you writing songs solely like poetry wise, or were you adding music to it?
Oh yeah, no, it's always music was involved.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah. I always write the music first most of the time. Um, and yeah, yeah, I was recording all the songs on that album were either like written or like pretty much written before we recorded, like years before we recorded it. And then it was fleshed out with like a group of friends when I finally got the confidence to like be like,
yeah.
oh, this is
Yeah, yeah,
something that
yeah.
we should make. Yeah,
What do
yeah.
you find easier to write on? Because I know because I've spoken to like musicians that prefer to write on acoustic guitar, and then a load of like there'll be piano in there. What do you tend to go towards?
Totally. So I usually write on like my electric guitar, and sometimes it's
Mm.
even like unplugged. Like it'll just
Oh,
be like,
really?
yeah, I'll pick it up unplugged. But I've started doing acoustic guitar more, and then there were some songs that yeah I would use like keyboard.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, mostly guitar. I'm a guitar guy. Yeah.
Do you think that came from people that you'd listened to beforehand, or do you feel like you would kind of become your own musician in a way?
I don't know, it was just the instrument that I was most comfortable with and that
Yeah.
I focused on the most. So it's really like to me, like writing and being creative is all about just like for instance, I use Logic Pro X to record.
Mm.
And like I used GarageBand at the time too. And it's really just about like whatever you're most familiar with and can easily just have fun with and come up with stuff easily. It's all about just like the easiest way to make something and be creative.
Yeah.
And for me that was guitar. Uh yeah, yeah.
Do you find, because I know you said you were writing music before, like, you started getting into Boyscott was formed, but now that Goosebumps has been released, do you still bear that responsibility of writing your own music, or do you kind of share it with the band a bit more?
Oh, that's a good question. So no, so I am a very slow songwriter, but I've always had a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
So I'm still like the person that writes the songs, but I've learned that yeah, collaboration is amazing, and the people that I'm
Mm.
surrounded by in the band are so talented. So for this next record that we're working on, it's actually older songs that I still need to like get
Oh,
out. So
really?
it's mostly it's all me, but I don't know. It's kind of a bummer because we've been playing these old songs for a while and they've actually been recorded for a little while. And now the bandmates are bringing like their own
Yeah.
creative parts to it. And I'm like, shoot, I wish that was recorded. So we'll probably do some kind of live recording to get them in on it because I mean, they're just all so incredible.
Hey, you definitely should. Were
Yeah,
you were you recording those songs between that period? Because it's been 9 years since Goosebumps was first released. Have you
it's
been
crazy.
have you been
Yeah.
recording your own music between that, or has it kind of just
Yeah.
been promoting Goosebumps throughout the country?
No, it's definitely been both. I've been working on this one set of songs for like 6 years and losing my mind. And then during all of that, yeah, dude, it's just about like going on tour and just playing the song. I don't know. We're really just like, I mean, I'm someone who loves doing this and I want this to work out. So I'm always like
Yeah.
proactively working towards like making stuff happen. But really, we've just been lucky with like opportunities. It's like the past, 6 years, whatever, we've just gotten like tour opportunities, like, oh, come on tour. And we're just like, okay. So we do
Yeah.
that. And then anytime we're not doing that, I'm trying my best to finish these songs. Um, and yeah, but I guess, yeah, I mean, I guess we have been promoting that first record without even really realizing it. We have vinyl for it, we sell it at the shows, we
Yeah.
play most of those songs live, but we're starting to play more new songs live. Yeah, that's just kind of the thing.
Do
But no,
you
but there's new stuff coming. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good then. That's good. That's something that all the listeners can look forward to. Do you find that? All right. Can you talk to us a bit about some of the opportunities you had? Like, what are your favorites that you've kind of done? Like, what are some highlights for you?
Yeah, I mean, I tell this to people all the time. Like, if it were to end tomorrow, like
Yeah.
if this whole journey it were to end, like I've reached all of my goals.
Oh,
Like it's
really?
or just beyond what I ever could have imagined
Yeah.
that this would have become. Like
Mm.
being able to play with artists that I look up to and become friends with them, or share tours and bills with them, and meet people and sell out shows and play real cool venues, but then also like DIY settings, which for
Mm.
me at the time when we were starting out, like I was just like, oh, if we could do a house show that people wanted us to play at,
Yeah.
that's the goal.
Do
And so we
you?
reached that one luckily pretty quickly, but
Yeah. Because
that was huge to me.
you played at, was it the Mansion? Was it the
Um,
Mansion?
Wait, where did you hear this?
That was on YouTube. I've seen a cover of it.
Oh,
I think that's how I first came to like know you. I think it was on like, I was thinking it was like Jeff Buckley or something, and
oh,
then
cool.
it just said like, I think it's just an autoplay, and then Boyscott live at the Mansion. I think it was.
Yeah, that was definitely a basement. But it was
Yeah.
called the Mansion. Yeah, it was called the Mansion. House shows tend to have
Ironic.
these extravagant names. But yeah. I mean, it's the joy of my life to play in cool different in places I've never been to before.
Yeah.
We love traveling. We got to play on Vancouver Island this last summer, which was like
Oh,
a dream
wow.
come true. We've played on the West Coast, which I had like never really been to a lot of these places in our
Yeah.
country, and music has brought me there, and it's like the greatest privilege. It's wonderful, and that to me was a huge goal too, is just to see. I mean, I would love to see the rest of the world, but really just seeing parts of our country, like North America,
Yeah.
it's beautiful. And again, I'm from the East Coast, so it's been really cool to like travel through the desert and play in Arizona and like whatever, like go
Well,
to
you should definitely
Colorado.
come to England. I think that's definitely what you should be doing.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, we've had
Next country.
Yeah, no, totally. We've it's on our radar for sure, and we've had some people reach out, so we're definitely interested. It's just a logistical thing we just need to
Yeah,
figure out, but
yeah.
we're totally down.
Now talking about those opportunities, because it was just, I don't know if it was just announced, but within the recent couple of weeks, you're supporting Yacht Club in the summer.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That must be crazy.
Yeah, it's in like a month and a half we're doing that. Or maybe more than that, like 2 months. Yeah, yeah, no, super fun, super stoked and honored that Ryan like asked us to come do this
How
with
did that come
him.
about?
So I don't know. Yacht Club's been on our radar for a second. I think we've just known about each other's music for a
Oh,
while.
really?
Um, and then yeah, he's releasing a new record, and we just got a booking agent for the first time,
Mm.
and it's also Ryan's booking. We have the same booking
Oh,
agent.
that's lucky then. That's
Yeah,
incredibly lucky.
which is probably a big part of how we were on their radar, but
Yeah.
also like I'm pretty sure Ryan just like chooses who he wants to play with them. So I'm like
Oh,
super honored that
yeah.
yeah, they had us along. It's gonna be super fun. It's gonna be so
That
fun.
I can guarantee, because his music, because I can see how your music like blends. Like I can see why he chooses, because you were saying about how, you know, you are happy that, you know, if tomorrow this all ends, then you'd be happy because I think everything you've done you've completely deserved. Like you know, that is, it's incredible. I think when you were recording Goosebumps, did you feel that songs like Killer Whale and Nova Scotia 500, like there'd be anything special, or did you kind of not really take an eye to it?
Yeah, I had no idea. I was just we really didn't actually think anyone was gonna listen to it at all, actually. Like it was just purely like a thing for fun that we were doing. And we were gonna put it out like on our buddy's like little tape label, and we were excited to like have a physical copy of it and like
Mm.
just do something that we were having
And
fun with.
9 years later, here we are.
Yeah, no, it's so, so cool. I had no idea that I would be meeting people that I'd never met that have like
Mm.
this special connection to it and like talk to us and tell stories and like and being able to live off of it, you know, like it's a
Mm.
dream come true, truly. Truly. Yeah, yeah, it's crazy.
Is this your full-time gig then? Do you not have work outside? Is this your full-time job?
Yeah, so it's been my full-time job since I was like 24. So it's been like I just turned 29, so it's like
Oh,
5 years.
congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I've been able to do this full time for like 5 years now, and
Yeah.
it's wonderful. It's also
Mm.
crazy, but it's wonderful. And the rest of the band too is now finally able to like start doing this full
Yeah.
time, so it's really
Do
exciting
you,
for all of us.
when you're recording Goosebumps, because obviously it's been a big part of you. Is it, when you're recording it, what was like the first song that you started to record on that album?
Well, okay, so I wrote these songs over a span of like 3 or 4 years. I was
Oh
21 when we
wow.
recorded it. Yeah, so I was like, it was towards the end of high school. I was like coming up with some of the ideas. Like the first song on the record, like that song, Sleepwalk. Like I had come up with that whole like
Mm.
sound when I was in high school, and I just like had that on my computer for a while, or like on a drive for a while, and then yeah, and then when I went to college, I like did like the song Marco Polo in like a day in my dorm, and I
Yeah.
just like, but then I just like it was just sitting somewhere, and then all these songs just kind of like just
Prop up.
came about, yeah, just
Yeah.
throughout those years of just like fooling around, like just messing around, yeah, and then my friends gave me I finally showed some of my new friends that I made in Memphis that were in the music scene there what I was always had been working on, and they gave me like a lot of comments like, dude, like turn this into a
Yeah.
thing. um and so then we got I made friends with this dude John Lewandowski, and he played drums over the whole thing. I had a lot of the drum parts written, but he just brought like a whole new energy
Mm.
and dynamics and even like new parts to it. Um so but uh but yeah, the last song that was written on the record I remember was Killer Whale. We almost didn't have that one on the album.
Really?
Yeah, because I just like came up with that one like the last week of when we were like of the summer.
Mm.
Um and I came up with it on guitar first, and then like there was this happy accident that I like used this keyword, like I pressed something by accident and it made that like crazy sound of
Oh,
just
the
like
one at the very start.
yeah, or that, and then also wait, how does that song even go? Just because it's very you know,
Da,
like
da, da, da,
same
da, da,
with
da, da. Yeah,
Sleepwalk.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Exactly. I forgot what that song sounded like. And yeah, that was an accident through like a MIDI keyboard, because the keyboard itself had a delay on it by accident that I had like set, and
Oh
then I was
wow.
pressing MIDI and it just did that, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And I used the chord progression from this part I had on guitar, and yeah, so it was just like, oh,
A happy accident.
Yeah, dude, I wish I could have another one of those things happen. I have not had that much luck
Not had that luck yet.
since
Well,
then.
maybe if you start releasing more and your song starts to blow up, maybe you might start having more.
I hope so.
Well, when you said you were recording songs or like writing songs in high school, did you have in mind how you wanted it to sound, or when you started recording it, I don't know, 3 or 4 years later, it took a whole different turn?
Yeah, no, I was nothing was fully like super intentional. It was just kind of like that was just what I got. That was just what I
Yeah.
did. That's what I was comfortable with. I was comfortable with having reverb on a lot of things and having the guitar sound like that was just like what I had. And I didn't really have much gear at the time too. And I really also just didn't know what I was doing at all. We used like a 4-channel interface.
Yeah.
And I just used like SM57 mics, which are just like very standard. And some stuff was even just direct into the interface guitar stuff sometimes. And mixing, I had no idea what I was doing. I was just winging it. But no, people, it was again just a happy accident thing, and people really like the sound, and I'm just like, I don't know what the sound is. It's just what I thought would sound good at the time.
Were you when you were in high school, were you writing songs influenced by other people, or were you doing your own kind of thing?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I mean, yeah, I think especially at that young age, it's hard to kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, I know people that at that young of an age were able to be just themselves and create. And it's some people in the Memphis music scene in particular are just like, we're always good. But most of us, it was like we're just ripping off another band or something. You know what I mean? I mean, high school, I don't know, what was I even listening to in high school? It was like pretty typical, like Modest Mouse and like stuff
Oh,
like
I
that.
love Modest Mouse.
Yeah, dude, I love like their earlier stuff and all that stuff. And yeah, but yeah, I don't know. It was just it was truly just like I just found this hobby that I loved and I just explored it. Like there was no goal. It was just like, oh, I have GarageBand on a computer now. I'm gonna come home from school after soccer practice and do that every day. You know, and it was awesome. And I'm oh, what'd you say?
No, keep going.
Oh no, yeah, I'm just super fortunate that, you know, I was privileged enough to have access to that stuff at such a young age and be interested in it, and then have that time of just pure exploration and just fun growth of like, you know, I made a lot of bad stuff. Like I'm scared to even open up some of these hard drives and listen to like what I made. Like it's terrifying.
What's your favorite Modest Mouse song then?
Oh, dude. Okay, so I really like the album Lonesome Crowded West. That album is like an older one, which I hadn't known actually when I was younger, and then I found it. And so any of the stuff on there, dude, just like I love. I've seen them actually. I was super fortunate to grow up in a town that had like a really cool theater that would have cool bands come through. So I've seen Modest Mouse like in my hometown like multiple times when I was in high school. Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, dude. So fortunate. Yeah.
Now, can we talk a little bit about Goosebump in general? When you had published it, how quickly did you start seeing the numbers start to rise?
So yeah, so I'm trying to remember when like Spotify came out when you're in high school or whatever, right? Or when I was young. Because yeah, dude, I don't know what it is. I think the songs were just worked well with the algorithm thing. They were poppy, goofy, fun songs
Surf rock
like
kind of thing, isn't it?
that. Yeah, so like when we released it, honestly it started getting a little bit of traction like pretty quickly. And granted, you know, like we played shows for like 3 years and like didn't make money at any show ever once. And we also didn't know to make money. Like we would just play. We were the local band in Nashville, and we would just give the money to the touring band. That was just like the etiquette of like DIY world, which we love, and which was fine for us because we were gonna play the show anyway. We just wanted to play with cool bands. But yeah, no. So it got traction, which helped us get shows really easy, or just helped people hear about us and then offer shows to us really easily. Yeah, but we didn't like start making money off it really until like 2018. Yeah, it's crazy. It's so crazy. But still, like the internet is wonderful. Bandcamp was huge for us. We were able to sell like our merch on there and like get a lot of fans or whatever from there. SoundCloud is also another one that I'm not like as familiar with, but we get like decent traction on there. And then yeah, dude, Spotify, like not a great company, but what they have was really wonderful and like really helped us out.
Do you, now that you've started recording, do you feel like you're more constricted because of the foundations that you've laid for yourself? or like when you first started recording, do you feel like it was freer to write songs back then compared to now? Because
Oh,
of
dude,
yeah,
100%. Yeah, I am an anxious person. I overthink everything. It's been a nightmare since releasing that record and then trying to write new songs, dude.
I
Like
can imagine.
it sucks, dude. Like I just
Shot yourself in the foot.
dude, I'm so fortunate that like people reach out to me like every week, just like when's the new
Yeah.
music, and it's so nice. But it just scares me that there's any kind of expectation because I'm just really it's just like shoot. Before it was just like best thought, first thought, best thought, not even thinking about it, just like oh this sounds fun, who cares? Like
Yeah.
who cares? And now it's like, I mean I'm still always gonna do what I want to do and what I enjoy, but it just does scare me a little bit that it's like I'm living off of this and people have like this expectation.
Yeah.
Like I remember someone came to me at a house show. We played at Harvard, which was kind of cool in
Oh,
Boston,
wow.
at like the literary societies. Like there's this beautiful old wooden room with like scary taxidermy and shit. It was really cool. And someone came up to me just like, oh, or like the song's gonna be like, are your new songs gonna be like really fun and like upbeat and like ocean thing? And I was just like, fuck, like sure, yeah, I can probably do that. I can do that again.
Do you see yourself kind of exploring other genres, or do you feel like you found your niche and you're kind of like there now?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, my friends talk to me about this sometimes. Or like I'll bring it with like the new song. Like there's another Scott song. Like I can't help it. I don't know. I just kind of make what I make.
Yeah.
I haven't really ever considered like, oh, I want to make this kind of song. I mean, I don't know. There's a part of me that's like, oh, I'd love to make like some stripped down stuff that's a little bit cooler sometime. But like, I've never really thought too much about changing things up. Or I don't know though. I will say the new record is weird and different. I think it just is.
When can we expect the new record? Can we get an approximate time?
Yeah, dude, at some point this year. I mean, we just it's just getting mastered now. Like it should be mastered very soon. And yeah, so I don't know. I assume like this late summer, fall probably. We'll release singles by the summer at the latest, I'm sure. But yeah, thanks for asking. Yeah, no
worries. How come you decided to release After Dark then? Like, because obviously it's been a while. Was that something you had planned to do, or did you feel like you kind of?
So we had a big full US tour coming up in October of last year, and we had recorded the record. We had been working on this record for like 6 years, and we had done this big 2-week trip to this lake house in upstate New York to just like get it all done finally. Like I had been demoing for years and years and recording everything myself, and I was just losing my mind. And I met this dude, Scoop Stardaris, who's our drummer's older brother. And he just gave me the confidence and the creative trust. I don't know, just trusted him. He was just someone who was organized. That was just like, let's just do this. Let's get this done. Let's go somewhere, isolate ourselves. And so that was 2022. That was fall of 2022 that we recorded all there. And then we spent like almost a year just like listening to mixes and like me going crazy in my head. And it was just kind of like I just needed to have the experience I just needed to prove to myself that like I can finish something. So when we finished After Dark was like the first one we finished. I was just like it would make me feel good if I got something out and proved myself that I can finish something. And we were like, oh, we got this big tour coming up. It'd be fun to release a new song and then be able to play that song on tour and have people kind of know it a little bit.
Do you feel like tours easier now, or do you feel like social media is easier to kind of like dabble in a new song, kind of like put it out there, or do you use tour to put out a new song, or like put the feelers out for a new song?
Yeah, it's a good. I mean, dude, honestly, I don't know. I'm totally like I haven't released music since 2015. Really, you know what I mean? Like it's crazy. So I don't know, but yeah, it was really fun releasing that song. It didn't feel as like nerve-wracking or daunting or whatever. It was just like, oh yeah, you're right. Like, and you're right. Social media makes it really easy and fun to get it out to people and then have immediate like response from people, you know, and get people to hear it and start listening to it more regular or whatever. But yeah, you know, it was fun. It was rewarding. And it was a weird song to be the first song to release after so long, but it was just like the one that was done. We were just like, all right, whatever.
Get it out there.
Yeah.
Do exactly. You now I spoke a little bit about Killer Whale and Nova Scotia being like these special songs on the album, but personally for you, do you have one that meant a lot for you to record?
On our old album?
On your old album, yeah.
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I mean, all of them, I'm really happy with how it turned out.
Yeah.
But let's see. I mean, Nova Scotia 500 was one that I don't know. It was just fun. It was just such
Yeah.
I liked the story around that one and
What is
how
the
it,
story around it?
or I had done a bicycling camping trip when I was in high school with some friends. And yeah, we did like 500 miles of biking and camping.
500 miles.
Yeah, that's not as crazy if you consider you do like 40 to
Wait,
60 miles a day.
so you were cycling 500 miles?
I'm pretty sure it was 500. From what I remember. Yeah, we started in Maine and then took the ferry over to Nova Scotia. And
Wow.
yeah, dude, it was super fun. And I just like then when I went to college, whatever, I just like was reminiscing on that trip and just like
Yeah.
had this tune I was working on, and just like it just came together really
Mm.
naturally and like in a fun way. And that was the first one that we recorded drums on. And actually the drums technically sound very bad because we had no idea what we were doing. And that was the first one that we recorded. And we should have gone back and redone it, but we were just like, oh, whatever.
No, I think it sounds better that way. Like
Yeah, exactly.
it feels rawer, doesn't it?
Yeah, dude, I love stuff like that. But yeah, so that one was very special to me. I really like the song "Embarrassingly Enough," how that one
Yeah.
came out, just because I had done that by myself in my dad's attic back home in New Jersey, or at my room. My dad's in New Jersey, and then brought it to John, who did drums on it, and then it just felt better, and it came together really nicely. And then the song "Lake House," I don't know, I just really enjoyed making that one too.
Yeah.
But all of them I enjoyed.
Do you feel like it's easier to write songs about things that you have done previously, or do you? Because I ask this question a lot, but I think it's just nice to know. But do you tend to look back on memories and write things down resembling that, or do you talk metaphorically a lot, or when you're writing?
Yeah, so like when I'm coming up with lyrics and
Yeah.
stuff or whatever. Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I just haven't. All the songs that I've worked on are just like old that have always just kind of existed.
Yeah.
So I haven't like done it fresh in a little while.
Do you write now? Do you write currently? Like as you?
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying. Yeah. Yeah. It's a weird thing of just like I've got all these old ideas that I really believe in, and I'm trying to, but then I just need to bring life into them again.
Yeah.
Like I need to freshen them up again with how I've grown or whatever. But when it comes to lyric stuff, yeah, it's all like fictional stuff. It's I like story again with like movies and stuff. I just love stories and stuff, but it's all like based on little real things that I've encountered or whatever. But like I don't know, I also like writing about stuff that I just like find interesting, and it's I don't know, like it's just fun. Yeah, writing about stuff that I like thinking about. So it's not even necessarily like a personal experience. Sometimes it's just like something I'm interested in. Like I'll like just like read articles about stuff and like write down little words that I saw or like little stories that I heard or whatever, and get psyched on that.
Is that your songwriting process? Do you? Because obviously it's quite hard to think about when your album came out ages ago. So obviously it's hard to draw back on. But when you are out in public or anything, do you find yourself just like going along, hearing something or writing something down in your notes or something?
Oh yeah, I do the notes thing for sure. Not necessarily
Yeah.
like music wise, but like just like words. And I'm not necessarily someone who's just like, oh, I came with this lyric on the train when it's like that's not really me. But yeah, no, totally. I'll hear something or I'll see something and like I like working on my computer and making like not designs necessarily, but just like messing around with visual stuff. And so I'll kind of just like take photos of like a font I saw and like save that and whatever. And then I kind of do a similar thing with lyric stuff where like if I hear a phrase or something that stuck with me, I'll like write it down. I just have like a list of like just words that together just look insane. But and then and if I'm coming and then if I'm working on like a piece of music or arrangement or something, I don't know, generally like melodies just kind of come a lot of times to many.
Is that easier for you? Is that easier for is that what you find easier? Do you find the songwriting easier, or do you find the music to be easier?
Yeah, music 100%. I love working with instruments and because again, I do the whole guitar thing where like I'll just record guitar and then record guitar over guitar and then guitar over that and just like make melodies through the guitar that way. You know what I mean? And just like I've got like a looper pedal thing that I've started using, and I used to just do it on Logic and just like just keep doing overdubs of just guitar and like like most of the melodies on the first record just came from me just noodling around on the guitar, and then that was the melody or whatever.
Do you? So you said you like melodies or whatever. When you're listening to like songs from other artists, do you have favorites for their songwriting and then favorites for their music or their composition and their arrangement of instruments? Do you have different favorites for each one of them, or do you kind of listen to all kind of artists?
Oh no, that's a good question. Yeah, I listen to all sorts of different stuff. Yeah, and you can take something from so many different people, even stuff that like isn't necessarily what their thing is, but you can listen to it and be like, oh wait, that is cool though. Yeah, I don't know. I listen to all sorts of stuff. But I don't know. I'm not really like a songwriter. Like I'm not like someone that can like just pick up an acoustic guitar and like come up with a melody. Like it's just not me. I mean, I've tried, and I technically have on some songs, but it's just not it doesn't come as naturally to me.
You feel like you kind of want to indulge in that a bit more, or do you? Because obviously 770,000 monthly listeners, and it's a very big number. Like you've done very well for like the album. It's an incredible album. Do you kind of want to indulge in the songwriting a bit more, or do you like what you're doing at the moment?
Yeah, I don't know. I just want to. I've tried. I mean, I always pick up an acoustic guitar and like mess around, but no, I'll do whatever works really. It's just whatever sounds fun at the time and that I feel like doing, but yeah, and again, it's just like for me, like the most rewarding feeling is just coming up with something that you enjoy hearing back. So it's like whatever gets me there, I'll do, and a lot of the time, again, it's just like me and just like an electric guitar like direct into the interface, just like looping stuff and just get an idea about whatever,
So for this upcoming album, can we talk about that a little bit?
Totally.
Yeah. So is it going to be another, like, I know we said earlier about how people have how they want you to, make music. Can you tell us the kind of genre, or you see what the motivation behind it was?
Yeah. So we recorded the first album without ever playing shows and without ever really being a band. It was just like a project. And then we spent years just playing shows.
Yeah.
And I got really into learning how to, not the word perform, but just like how to arrange songs that were strictly recordings into like a live setting, like to fit a live setting better and like a show aspect to it. So this new record, I was just talking to a friend about this, and he's just like, oh yeah, it feels more like a band is performing it this time.
Really?
It's more live. It's more real. As far as just like there's not like fake instruments or like MIDI stuff or whatever. It's way more just like everything was amped up. It sounds like we were in a room together playing it. Which granted we were just doing like overdubs the whole time. But there was some stuff of like I was playing bass and then our new drummer Noah was playing drums at the same time. So whereas we didn't do that in the first record, it was like.
Do you find that easier? Do you find that easier to do?
Yeah, no, it's super fun and you get like way more energy that way. But I'm not really good at writing like on the spot like that. It does. Like I had everything prepared. I had everything like fleshed out and stuff. But yeah, so again, first record just was like a studio fun project thing, and then this one was like, oh, we play live now. I want to write songs that reflect that and that we can pull off live easier without having to like figure out like, oh god, how are we gonna do this? So this record's way more just like live instruments, live drums. But it's also pretty crazy and not as like I mean it's got like pop hooks and melody stuff to it, but it's not as like formulaic in that way or like structured of like chord or like verse chorus. It's I don't know, I just went a little crazy with
free flowing.
I don't know, I just was kind of just like, let's just go crazy with this one. Like I did that a little bit before. Like what if I just went nuts with the structure of this? Like it doesn't make sense what the structure of this is, but it's fun and makes sense to me. So I don't know, I'm interested to see what people think. It's gonna be a wacky thing for sure.
I mean, in my opinion, like how I see that, I can see that happening a lot in Marco Polo. I think I was on a run the other day and I had that playing, and cool. It all just kind of like it's there. I don't know how to describe it, but I think you understand what I'm trying to say. But it's kind of like it is wacky in
Yeah, there's
that
just like a
sense.
momentum that it
Yeah.
follows, but it's not really like structured. Like it doesn't really
Mm.
make sense. But dude, cool. I appreciate that. I'm stoked to
No,
hear that.
it's
Thanks for
fine.
listening.
I think it's just a great album. And
Thanks.
obviously you were saying I do like to big up the guests. I don't know if you can tell that so far, but when when you have recorded that album compared to the album that you've just done, do you feel like you could go back and make those songs better, or do you feel like those songs are their own entity in a way?
The old album or
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Compared to what you know now.
well, that was the thing too, that like when we started playing live, it was like, oh, let's rearrange it a little bit to fit a setting live. And yeah, so we play them like pretty differently live now. It's still the same songs, but like we play them pretty differently live now. We actually did some tracking this summer of some of the old songs in the new way that we play them now. Just cause we were just like, oh, it'd be fun to just kind of get this set in stone a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I that's an interesting thing of going, because that's what we do every tour is we go back and try to tackle those initial songs in a way that feels fresh to us. We always have new members, so they can bring some strength to it. But yeah, I don't know. I probably wouldn't be able to write that album in that same way, or just with how I approach music now.
Do you find that tour helps with that, or constrains it? Because obviously with tour you only have you can't like use instruments or like things. You only have a certain amount of time and you only have a certain amount of people there. Do you feel like that constrains you, or do you feel like because you're not putting it out onto a public domain, if people aren't there videoing it, you can kind of test around a bit more?
Yeah,
Do you feel like it's easier?
it probably is a bit constraining a little bit with like, oh, we only have 4 people this time, so we don't have someone to play keyboard, so, but it's a nice challenge of like trying to rearrange the songs to fit whoever we have with us and with the instruments we have, but still keep it as special as we can, and ode to the song, or like do the song justice or whatever. So it is a little constricting, but I don't know, it's a nice, fun challenge, and I don't know, touring is so much fun. It's just such a wonderful experience, and everyone's so supportive at any show we ever play. Like everyone's super nice and seems to enjoy it.
Yeah, what's
and we're getting better as we go.
What's on your watch list then? So what's on your like where you want to tour? What are some of the top locations?
Dude, oh man, that's a great question. I mean, yeah, we would love to tour other countries. Like for me, that sounds really fun, even though it is kind of a logistical. Like we need to get a tour manager. We need to get a tour manager if we're gonna do that. But I mean, dude, again, like I've kind of like reached all my goals. I mean, I would love to play more in Canada. We've played in Canada a bunch. Playing out west in Canada was like a dream come true. It's like so beautiful out there. We still haven't played Nova Scotia, which obviously, I got to do that.
I think actually you should bike there. You should bike the 500 miles or however many
dude.
it is. Guitar on your back.
Yeah, logistical nightmare. But dude, no, I would love that. I would love to take like the ferry over and do that, or drive the longer way. That sounds amazing. But yeah, no, we've played like most of the states. We haven't played Idaho yet, but we're doing a show in Idaho on this upcoming tour.
So you've played all 51 states. Is there 51 or 52?
Dude, I don't even. Dude, Americans don't know anything about. We don't know. We don't care, dude.
Playing into the stereotype.
Dude, we're the worst, dude. Dude, I don't actually know. We definitely haven't played all of them, but we've played or driven through all of them for sure. But we've played most of them, which is really cool. And every state has like some kind of beauty to it that blows our minds. Like, because most of the time when you're driving to these shows and you're driving across country, you have to drive through entire states. Like we drove through Kansas. And it's like I'd never really been to Kansas, and it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, what?
What's your favorite state that you played in then?
Well, that depends on a lot of things, and like what the show is, but like most of the time it depends on like just the geography. Like we love going for hikes and like exploring stuff. But yeah, dude, going out west is the best. We love the Northwest. I love driving through Colorado and Utah and Idaho and all of that, and like we've driven through Montana and South Dakota is beautiful. But yeah, dude, just the West, the Midwest, like those areas, it's just stunning.
I really like Oregon. Oregon.
Dude.
Oregon,
the coast of Oregon.
Yeah.
Oh my God, kill me, dude. Yeah, dude. My favorite movie of all time is called The Goonies, and it's this really goofy.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, dude.
Everyone knows The Goonies.
Yeah, dude, I watch that shit like every night, dude. Yeah, dude. Oh my god, dude. But yeah, yeah. The Northwest, like, for sure, stunning.
Yeah.
I would live
Okay.
there in a heartbeat. Yeah.
Well, on the topic of movies, then, because obviously it's just a cyclical moment. It's just come back round naturally.
Oh
You
no.
can't
Yeah.
stay away. So what's your top 5? If you were just not set in stone, but what are some of your favorite movies?
Dude, I gotta look at the list. I've got lists somewhere of like, because again, I watch so much.
Yeah.
But I really love. Let's see. I really love the Coen brothers. So
Oh,
I love
yeah.
like the movie Fargo.
Mm.
Let's see. We were just talking about the Goonies. I love that stuff. I love like adventure movies and I love films, which I've noticed a lot of my favorite TV shows and stuff. The setting is very particular. You know,
Yeah.
it's like a character. You know, so that's why like something like Fargo is just like huge. You know, it's just like that's what that is. So I love movies like that have like a distinct feel and place to it. I love this movie called Paris, Texas. What else? I love, oh god, I can't think. I love Kubrick movies. I really like Roman Polanski movies, even though he's kind of like, I don't know.
He's a bit, yeah.
Yeah. But let's see. I'm trying to think of directors and people. As cheesy as it, I love Wes Anderson movies so much, dude.
I love Wes
that
Anderson's
shit. Like
film.
I don't care what anyone says. I love it. Who else? So like I don't know, pretty typical like big standard stuff, you know. But wait. This movie, The Day Trippers, is like one of my favorite movies.
Wait, let me search that up. I need to.
Yeah. Check, dude. Definitely watch that movie.
Let me add it to the Letterboxd watch list.
Yes.
Wait.
Yeah. Shoot. Wait. I've got a list on my phone somewhere of stuff I was just watching because I like to keep lists. I just love old movies too.
It looks like The Holdovers, the new film that's out, The Day Trippers.
Oh, dude, I loved The Holdovers. Yeah.
I think that was what it was based off of.
Oh, really? Or
I think I've read that The Holdovers were based off. Wait, hang on. I don't know how professional this is. Me searching up what The Holdovers is. No clue. Maybe it wasn't then. 1935 Melissa. So if you want a new film to watch,
I'm down.
Marcel Pagnol's 1935 film Melissa.
Okay.
Don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anyways. Right. I think I've taken up far too much of your time.
No, dude. I'm chilling, man. I get to do this stuff full time. I'm just chill. I get to make my own schedule. I don't do anything. It's amazing.
You're living a life.
My life is going very well right now. I don't know how long yeah, well, dude, I don't know how long it's gonna last. You know, with this kind of
live in every moment.
Yeah, you never know. You know, like I don't know, people might not dig the new stuff. It might taper off. You know, and that's okay.
Well, I'll happily have you back on after that album's been released, and then we can talk.
Well, yeah, dude, I would love to talk to you about it anytime. Yeah, totally.
Quality. And I can see the bicycles in the background. Are you planning on the Nova Scotia trip soon?
Dude, there it is. Man.
There it is.
That bike would not last. So yeah, thanks for letting me just do this in my apartment. This is my owl. This is my owl door. I'm very proud of.
Are you a favorite? Is that your favorite bird?
Yeah, honestly, it probably is.
What's the inspiration behind the owl door?
I don't know. I just have this book that had owls, and when I moved in here, I wanted to like put stuff, and I realized that they fit perfectly in these little grooves in the door. And there you have it.
So when people are like looking through, is that double-sided? Can they see the owls from the other side?
No, that would be cool. That would be cool. No, that's probably for the better.
I think you actually own owls. Maybe you just have an owl. Just have an owl.
Yeah, dude, they're scary. Like they're intense. Like they're not to be trusted in a good way. Like they're just real. I don't know. I have tons of thoughts about owls.
They are real. They are indeed real.
Dude, they are predators. They are like apex. Like they'll get you.
Sounds like you've had some past traumatic things with owls. Like you've had some run-ins with them. Maybe that should be a song you make just about owls.
Let's get it going.
People would love that.
I probably will, honestly. I can't help it. This is just what I do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Scott, for coming on. It's been a blast.
Yeah, nice talking to you.
Thank you for the listeners that are listening too. But honestly, if you haven't if somehow you don't know Boyscott, just listen to their album because honestly, it's amazing. Thank you so much, Scott. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much.